It's missing the point. It's the prediction show. We do the prediction show every year. We do predicting on the prediction show. Predict the records of all the NFL teams, guys. That's what we do. The four of us are here, all four. All of the Missing the Point hosts, myself, DK Sizzle, my partner in crime, who, despite the receipts not showing this, blames me for last year's loss on the prediction show, Mike Marcangelo. The AFC team this year, the real BK Bob Kelly, and Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan. Mike and I were going to pick the NFC. We've had success in the past with this. I think, Mike, we should just try to clear the air here a little bit because, you know, for all intents and purposes, we talked about this before we got on the podcast, but it seems like you think I'm responsible for our loss last season. Is that the vibe I'm getting? We lost by 1 point for the record. And I did a little digging into what I wanted the records to be and like what we landed on. Thankfully, I kept the receipts. And as it turns out, we would have actually had 1 more point if we went with all my records instead.
I don't know if that's true.
I can prove it to you.
Okay.
Very easily. Thankfully, we record this podcast and put it out to the listeners for their listening pleasure. And we would have tied. We would have had to have a tiebreaker situation. So, you know, I feel like just by the fact that you were on a streak and then you made me join your team, I didn't even want to. You forced me to join your team. And like I wanted to continue to host and bring in another person to be on the prediction team. You didn't want that. You said, no, you're on my team now. And now I feel like I'm getting blamed. I feel a little bit like Bret the Hitman Hart right now. I feel like you're.
I think it should just be noted.
And I'm Bret, and you're like, you screwed you.
Well,
and I'm like, I didn't even want to do this like this. And I just want to clear the air on this before we get into the actual show, because I think we work better when we're friends, when we're on a team together. You know, we should put this behind us, Mike. We did, in fact.
Let me just ask you a question.
You turn a blind eye. Everyone's turning a blind eye.
Well, I don't love being called Vince, but let's just. Did I ever say anything to you besides I was 4-0 up until this year?
Yeah, but you did, because you said I don't want to lose 2 years in a row with the insinuation that it was my fault. You said that. You said that today. So I just want to make sure, if you don't think it was my fault, I would just like to get it on the record right now. Like, Dave, it wasn't your fault. That's all I need to hear, and then we can move on.
It takes 2 to win and to lose. So I'd be hard pressed to put the sole blame on you.
Okay, good. I'm glad, because, you know, I feel really good about these NFC predictions this year. I really feel like I have a couple of sleeper picks. I do have a little surprise for you, though, Mike. I sent you all my picks. That was a kayfabe, my friend. Those are not my picks. I've changed almost every single one of them. So you don't actually know what records I want for these. But I will say, last year, I think we did a pretty good job of talking it out. What are we hearing? What's going on?
Like crackling in your voice, but it might just be my headset.
Anybody else hear crackling from me?
No.
Okay. Hopefully the audience at home doesn't hear it. It could just be the rage that you're feeling from the things coming out of my mouth, Mike.
I put on one of my 3 Bret the Hitman Hart t-shirts for you in the hopes that we could be
I want that. I want that.
As possible.
I want that.
It doesn't sound like you want that.
I want that.
But I also will say, in the 4 prior years, Bobby and I fought on every fucking pick. So maybe I do need this. I thought we were pretty good last
year. I thought we did a good job of like talking it through. We went with a lot of your picks. If you go back and listen to that episode.
So you're blaming me.
I'll tell you who I'm blaming. I'll tell you who I'm blaming. I'll tell you exactly who I'm blaming, because I did a quick run through of that last year's prediction show just to prepare for this, just to kind of like make sure we had the same like sort of through lines here, all 4 of us. And I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just sort of skipped around. I'll tell you who I'm blaming. I'm blaming the National Football League, because we made a lot of real sense in a lot of different areas. And then I think back to what actually happened. And the big things that sort of happened to us, unfortunately, it was the fact that we had the AFC. A lot of shit went down in the AFC. The Jaguars completely shit the bed. We thought they were going to be better, because it made sense to think that at the time. The Texans completely let us down. Like some stuff happened that was actually genuinely neither of us pushing for anything. It was just like, oh shit, like everybody thought this and it didn't happen. So I want to try to like guess. If you're cool with it, I want to try to guess like the crazy shit that's going to happen this season. But we'll see how it goes. I digress. Obviously, that's essentially all I do. But I want to go over to Bobby and Ray here. and talk about, just since me and Mike just got a minute on our strategy there. We did a little strategy session in front of you guys. We basically just had a fight. How are you guys feeling? How like you're coming off your first win. You didn't let Mike 5-peat, so that's good. You're the Philadelphia Eagles of this podcast, kind of, because you probably should have done it 1 year sooner, 2 years sooner.
Yeah.
But how you feeling? Like you're the champs right now. Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling like you guys have good team chemistry? You think you're gonna repeat? What new strategy? What are you guys thinking?
Well, so I sent Ray the picks before the show, and he told me great picks. I didn't get his, so we're going blind here. I don't know what he's thinking, which is what we did last year. So I'm thinking that if we just come at it the same strategy like we did last year, I think we'll be okay. I'm a little distracted
because
though,
quite honestly, it was a really low scoring game last season. It was a really low scoring game. So it was who didn't lose. So well, I guess we'll see how it goes. Nobody performed that well, and I really shouldn't have even brought up last year's show because it's kind of embarrassing how much shit we got wrong. So don't go back and listen to that. Listen to this. We're right now. We know things. That's what we do here on Missing the Point. We drink and we know things. I'll tell you what. We'll start off with the AFC since you guys are the champs. Why don't you guys tell us?
Should we start off with the news of the day first?
I was going to wait until we got to the Packers or the Cowboys, but yeah, the news of the day. Thank God it happened before we started recording because it obviously is going to change things for Mike and I's Packers pick, or fucking is it? Micah Parsons has been traded. Micah Parsons has been traded from the Dallas Cowboys, Bobby's team, America's team, for some reason. Although, given the state of America right now, that makes sense. He's been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the fucking Green Bay Packers for nothing, essentially. And they get 2 first-round picks and a defensive tackle who's okay. And I am disgusted, quite frankly. I'm fucking appalled. I'm appalled that the Packers get to do this. At the end of the day, I got my things to say later about Jordan Love, but Matt LaFleur is a really good coach. If they were like really missing anything, I guess every team was missing a Micah Parsons, but if they were really missing anything, they were missing that. They now have some decent wide receiver help, and I fear they're going to be good again. I'm depressed about it. But yeah, that's the news of the day. What were your first thoughts on it, Bob, other than like, rage? Like your your second initial thoughts.
Then I almost went into another break instantly.
We got to write Jerry Jones a letter.
Dude, it's unbelievable. So I finished the 8-part documentary on Netflix last night on this fucking guy. And he has now run this team into the ground at least 3 separate times. He did it in the 90s. He did it, I guess you kind of count the Romo era. And then he did it now, where he's trading a generational player that literally comes around once every 30 years, if that. Like, people are comparing him to the Lawrence Taylor of this era. Like, that's how above and beyond other defensive players he is.
Where do you rank this in the Jerry Jones foibles? Above or below firing Jimmy Johnson?
Considering what the damage that actually did and how many Super Bowls that could have taken away, I think Jimmy Johnson is just above Micah Parsons. It's close.
Is that his worst ever mistake?
Jimmy Johnson's one. Yes, Jimmy Johnson's definitely one. The fact that he couldn't put his ego aside, he cost them at least 2 Super Bowls, without a doubt.
I don't think he cost any Super Bowls trading away Micah Parsons, just based on the rest of the team. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying.
Agreed. No, agreed. But trading away a generational player like that just leaves such a sour taste in my mouth going into the season. Like, I compare it to Mookie Betts getting traded from the Red Sox, and it's like the same type of return. You know what I mean? It's the same type of thing where you're getting.
It's a little better than what the Sox got, I think.
It's close, though. It's close because
like that was a real stinker.
But this is just as bad. I mean, 2 late-round, first-round picks and a Pro Bowl defensive tackle who can stop the run. I'll give him that. But for a generational pass rusher, like, I thought 3 first-round picks is going to be too low. I mean, you look at what the Bears got for Khalil. That's what the Bears got for Khalil Mack, right? They got 3 first-round picks for him. So you compare it to that deal.
We got that, and we also, when we traded for him, we traded less, and we signed him to, I don't know, like 40% of what Parsons just signed for. Like, that contract's also pretty fucking nuts. So Khalil Mack is a really good comp, I think, for like, as we discussed this before. I think as far as like these 2 guys, like it's a similar comp. But I mean, we traded for Khalil Mack and fucking still lost to the Packers. So whatever. It's still depressing to think about. And yeah, we got some stuff for him back, but he's still fucking playing. So like, you think about the sort of the value in a guy like that. just the phenom aspect of Micah Parsons and the fact that he's just in a healthier situation now. Surely we accept that. I hate to say it, but I think it's because I kept making those jokes about Jerry Jones trying to prevent integration in schools. I think he was like, "Fuck Dave," and I'm sending this dude to the Packers just despite him. Ray, what would have been a fair package?
Before he goes, it's literally just as bad. It almost as bad as if he got traded to the Eagles. It's like it hurts me just as much to see him in a
just because they keep
Packers.
beating you in the playoffs. I don't know.
Yes,
I feel like you would have been
yes.
more sick if it was the Eagles because the Eagles immediately become like a lock to win another Super Bowl if they get Parsons for 2 first-round picks and like a defensive tackle of which they have 5 good ones. So I don't like. I feel like if that was the package, the Eagles like make out like fucking bandits. But
I would have done it for Carter straight up. Carter in a first-round pick.
Carter straight up, no.
So not straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a first-round pick.
Yeah, for the 32nd pick.
Generational talent. They're going to trade
so
him
is
for
Carter.
So is Carter. Right. So is Carter.
Yeah. Ray, what do you think? What would have been a fair package?
Keon White and 5 first rounders.
I know, right? You have to. Yeah. The other thing too is like I almost would have preferred first round picks, not now, right? Like you almost wanted to go down a couple of years just to say we're making you better right away for the next at least 3 years, right? Like that this is their window now. Like they've officially said like we're going for it. Their Super Bowl odds dropped like. I'm just saying, like those 5 first rounders, like they might have started to pay dividends in 2031. You know what I mean? Like that's when you can start to see this like start to fade.
Right, but because the NFL for most times stands for not for long, like you have to cash in when you can, right? Which is why obviously Green Bay made the move. I'm sure when they do the press conference, they're gonna say, like, we thought it was a joke that this man was available, and we was like, okay, how did we not say yes to this type of move? And you don't have, once again, you don't give up much. Well, you give up a modern day BJ Raji for him, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like that's a no brainer.
That's a good comp.
But for Jerry Jones, right? We made the joke about the Eagle thing, right? I'm not sure he makes it out of Arlington alive if we traded him to Philadelphia. Like, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, I think that.
Well, that's a risk at his age.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't going to Texas live, and I just he don't make it out the parking lot if you trade him to Philadelphia or anybody even within the division. Like, no way. But to me, this symbolizes that. I'm sure Cowboys fans have felt like this for a while. He's out of touch. Jerry Jones, he's out of touch. And then 2, he's just not fully committed to winning like he once was. And yeah, from Jimmy Johnson to
he still expects it at the same level, I think. I just don't know if he does.
I'm sure he does. Just like, Belichick demanded certain things too. But like, when you lose your fastball, is a famous statement that we said it on the show many times before. It slowly starts to deteriorate. And I think that's what happened with him as far as his ownership skills. And once again, this is the latest blunder. My thing is, I rather a disgruntled superstar than me trading for peanuts. That's just my take on it. So, but hey, the Packers, jumped in, they swooped in, did what they were supposed to do. 188 is something. I think 120 guaranteed.
Yeah, Jesus.
But yeah,
that guaranteed money's crazy. I mean, that's all you really have to look at.
I mean, but do my thing is, do we see him in the same light as Myles Garrett and Bosa? Like, because I do. I think he's on that level. So the money in that regard was warranted. Those are the only defensive players that really get that type of bag anyways, edge. So but yeah, I mean, I guess it was weird that he became the odd man out though, right? Because you think about, you paid Diggs, right? You paid Diggs the year before. You caved in and paid CeeDee Lamb. And obviously, you gave Dak a new deal, even with his recent injury history.
Yeah, that was the thing. We just talked about that last week on the show. You weren't on the last power ranking show. I was like, the mistake was giving Dak that contract, in my opinion. I think that was like the domino. I get it on one level. Like, I do understand it because like there aren't that many good quarterbacks. But like, couldn't you have just paid Kirk Cousins? Like, couldn't you have gone and gotten a Dak equivalent for way less money?
But then we would have ragged them for getting Kirk Cousins, could eventually.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have had to pay him as much. Like it was like the Dak tax, I feel like is so high for what his output actually is. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no,
We
I'm
didn't
with
mention him above Jordan Love when we had that argument last time I saw you, so
well,
he didn't come into it.
It definitely ain't the case now.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have to throw for 5,000 yards to even have a shot. Like, and that's
Yeah.
insane. So we'll see. But hey, congratulations to Green Bay. You know, they did what they were supposed to do. So
All right.
It's gonna be
We'll
so
talk more
sick
about it when we get to the
seeing
NFC.
him in a Packers uniform every Sunday.
Suck.
yeah, it's
That's
gonna be
gonna suck.
it's rough. Mm-hmm.
Mike, you and I'll discuss it a little bit more when we get to our section of the NFC, but I do want to start this game, guys. What do you think? You ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do a slightly different format this time, just for the sake of speed and efficiency. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys the division, and you can go in whatever order you want. You can discuss it whatever pace you want. You can give any amount of time to each team that you want. If it starts to go crazy, I'll rein it in, but I just don't. I'll offer comments. Mike, you can proffer comments also as you go. But I want you guys to have time to actually discuss like what your predictions are. So the floor is yours. Start with the AFC North. Do it in whatever order you want. Yeah, please.
Are we still doing that? We get one steal, like each team gets a steal.
What did we do? How did we do that? Explain
Remember,
that to me again.
they picked
Oh,
a team.
when we picked the Bengals a couple years ago, I think I was able to take. But I figure how something like that. Yeah.
So if they say like the Bengals are going to win 9 games, and we're like, no, like we know that they're going to win 11, then we get 2 points.
Okay.
If that's true.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we'll do that again. That was a really good idea. Whoever thought that up originally. So fucking, I don't know. We got a bunch of geniuses here. I can't remember whose idea it was, but yeah, that works. Yeah, I think we should do the steal thing. That sounds smart. Whoever thought that up sounds smart. So yeah, start with the AFC North. Whatever order you want. Talk amongst yourselves, and I kind of now relinquish hosting to you guys as you do this division, and we'll still go AFC, NFC. We'll do the NFC North after you guys are done, but the floor is yours, gentlemen.
Ray, do you want to take it away or you want me to go?
No, I got you. So we got Baltimore winning the division at 14-3. The Bengals going 11-6. Pittsburgh going 10-7, and then the Browns all the way at 1-16. Now, personally, when I seen the Browns at 1-16, I understand the premise that they may drop off. I mean, but I don't think that they're a one-win team. I think they can still win maybe 5 or 6 games, all things considered. But other than that, like I said, Baltimore should win the division running away. They've been the cream of the crop in that division for a while. So, I think, but yeah, that was our initial thoughts on that. So, Bobby.
Yeah, no, I have the Browns at 1-16. I don't want to spend too much time there. I feel like at most they can get to 3 or 4. I just see them turning to Shador or Gabriel by week 5 or 6, and I just think a rookie quarterback on that team isn't getting more than 5 wins. So I'm okay with like 3 or 4 on that one. Are you good with the Ravens all the way at 14?
Yeah, 'cause I mean, they've been that good in the regular season. They just obviously their shortcomings have come in the playoffs. That's not debatable at this moment. So yeah, regular season wise, they do what needs to be done. I think that they continue to add what they add offensively, and Derrick Henry is still very productive. We know what Lamar Jackson brings to the table as an offensive player. I think he's still 27-28. So, he has once again the window is still open, but they need to move with some type of urgency at some point.
I honestly thought Bengals over Steelers was going to be a little bit more controversial. You're okay with that? You're good with Bengals over Steelers?
Not that I've been a resident.
What'd you have the Steelers at and the Bengals at?
I have Bengals 11-6, Steelers 10-7.
So I mean,
realistic.
The reason why I didn't have much contention on Pittsburgh being 10-7 is because that's around what they usually have been, right? Or they may be 9-8 recently, anyways, right? I think the last time they went to the AFC Championship game was 2016, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So Mike Tomlin will have them in the hunt. Yes, I had some, I guess, a mini rant about him. I think one of the few times I was on the show with Dave earlier this summer. I think it was after the Aaron Rodgers signing. But yeah, I mean, we know what they do come regular season. We know that. It's just their shortcomings once again have happened in the playoffs recently. So Aaron Rodgers, if healthy, may give them 2 or 3 extra wins that they had in previous years, but I'm not expecting much from him at this stage of his career.
Fair. Fair. So are we're locking it in? Browns, what do you think? 3 or 4?
Yeah, we can go with 3. I would go 3 and 14 for Cleveland, but everything else we can keep.
All right, so we're locking
14
in.
and 3, 14 and 3 Baltimore, Cincinnati 11 and 6, Pittsburgh 10 and 7, Cleveland 3 and 14.
All right. Mike, if they were going to do that 1 and 15 for Cleveland, I was going to be like, let's steal, right now. That would have been the dumbest shit they could do. Because we actually should remind the listeners and ourselves, it sounds like, you get 1 grace. So if you pick a team to win 1, you'll get the point if they win 0. You'll get the point if they win 2. So you're really
like when you
picked
the Patriots to win 2 games last year, and I said 3, and they won 4. Right? Is that what we're doing?
I don't think that's what happened.
Exactly
but I'm really glad we cleared.
I thought you meant with me. I didn't think they was going to win the game.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad we cleared the air at the start of the show. This is going super fucking well already. This is why I compared you to Vince McMahon. So here we are. If they had gone 1 with the Cleveland Browns, I would have gone for a steal. Right. I got to be honest. It's hard for me to argue with the rest of their picks. I'm pretty high on the Bengals. I kind of think, I don't know why I have this feeling, but I just want to put it on record. I got no real evidence to support this, but I kind of think this is going to be the non-slow start year for the Bengals. I just think they're actually going to get off the blocks. They paid Hendrickson. They have the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase thing coming back. They kept their core together. I do wish that they would add more pieces in certain areas to become like a real contender, but I think that Joe Burrow is, without injuries and without outside influences and things happening, I think Joe Burrow is in that QB class where you can pencil him in for 11 wins. I just think he is. So I know they start off slow all the time. I kind of feel like this is going to be the year that they don't. Maybe they'll ironically peter out. But what do you think? I think the Bengals would be the only one I might move on. But 9-10 wins for Pittsburgh makes sense. Like Ray says, that's what they always do. Rodgers is their QB now. Didn't fucking work out in New York.
But in the same token, if he has the exact same season that he had last year with the Jets in Pittsburgh, he'll be the best quarterback since that 2016 season Ben Roethlisberger. It won't take much. He has a better defense around him, obviously a better coach. I fucking hate him. You hate him. It's going to be fun. But I don't think 10 or 11 wins is unreasonable.
I also think he's going to start. The one thing I could say, and I'm not making this point, but this is the sort of zag on this whole thing, is I do think he has an established and good receiving core going into the season, as opposed to the Jets where he was like, please go get me my guy. This guy keeps fucking guys were dropping balls on him at the start of that Jets tenure. A lot of or the second year, I guess. But I feel like some of that was Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers and making his receivers kind of getting in their head, and I feel like the kind of receiving core and the kind of coaching staff he has in Pittsburgh, that's probably not going to happen, right? I think we can all sort of agree on that as a general wisdom. No, Ray, you disagree?
What? No. To that point, I didn't think about it until you brought it up, but I'm like, when I think about it, because just how he moves, I'm actually surprised he chose to go to Pittsburgh.
Why is that?
Because Tomlin is not Robert Saleh or Matt LaFleur or Mike McCarthy. I may joke about what he's done in the postseason, but as a leader of men, there's not much better than Mike Tomlin. And certain things he's just not going to go for. Period. It's just not going to happen. So at this stage of Aaron Rodgers' career, I'm shocked that he went with someone that can be seen as such a strong force in the locker room, that is the clear leader of the locker room, not someone that's I'm just a figure here. No, I'm the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even think about that till now when you brought that up.
It might make Aaron Rodgers behave like less of a fucking asshole.
Right, which I I guess for them would be great, obviously. But like Mike said, if you, I don't even know what he had as far as numbers last year. But listen, Garrett Wilson's no scrub. Garrett Wilson's no scrub, but obviously neither is Devontae Adams. But it's really weird that he was fighting to get guys like Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard in there. That's wild. Those guys never moved the needle.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of shit you're going to be allowed to do in Pittsburgh.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct. So it's just you got DK Metcalf. I forget who the number 2 would be over there.
I'd say it's probably Calvin Austin.
Is it Calvin Austin?
Yeah. So him, and then obviously you got the safety blanket in Frymouth. So yeah. So I'm like, okay. So we'll see. But Yeah, but no, that's just something that came to my mind when you said that. But
I also think Rodgers, like he's historically, when he complains about actual football shit,
mm,
it has sort of made sense to me sometimes in the past. Like I think when he first left Green Bay, there was a sense of like, okay, well, I think the coaching issue is that he's a West Coast quarterback, right? Like he's been playing the West Coast offense pretty successfully like his entire career. So if you want to have Aaron Rodgers, maybe just put him in the system that works for him. Arthur Smith will play to his strengths. Arthur Smith can play the kind of offense that his personnel are there to play. He's super flexible. They've talked about that openly. Rodgers and Arthur Smith. It's like he's like, I don't know, I have the quarterback I have. So you saw that in the transition from Fields to Wilson last year. I don't think either guy was really a guy that was going to lead you in a meaningful postseason push, but the offense changed around both guys, right? You all of a sudden you started seeing a lot more deep balls, a lot of trip sets, peeling secondary guys off of receivers so you could get guys deep once Wilson went in there. So you can get that Russell Wilson deep ball that he still has somehow at 1,000,000 years old. So I think with Rodgers, with the kind of personnel that they have, you might actually see a completely revamped Steelers offense. That could go either way, right? Because the line learned a certain way, the receivers learned a certain way. I think bringing in Metcalf is smart because DK Metcalf is just going to be DK Metcalf, right? So as long as Rodgers can find him in the positions that he's going to be in, it could. This is really just me playing devil's advocate, though. Like I honestly, if I'm really thinking about it, he looked real different in New York. Like he didn't look like Aaron Rodgers. He just didn't. Coming off like that latest bad injury the season before, he just looked. He didn't want to get hit. Nobody wants to get hit, but he didn't want to get hit. He really, really was like nervous, I think, about his body holding up, and I don't know. I didn't see like incredibly well protected Steelers quarterbacks last year. Like I think they're middle of the pack offensive line. Would everybody agree there? I don't think that they're like unbelievable.
Yeah, and obviously even before the injury though, he wasn't someone that he wasn't gonna.
Well, how would he always get you? Right? It's like he would run at the right time.
Like,
that's just not an option.
That's what it was.
You know what I mean? Like he would run and he always made the exact. Trust me, I had to pay him fucking twice a year for like what feels like my whole goddamn life. He would run at the exact right moment, right? To like really like he would make play. He was a playmaker. He would make plays, And I think that like when you lose a tool, and then you lose another tool, and then you know what I mean, and then you're a little bit like it's going to be hard to adjust your game. Can he become a system quarterback? I mean, I don't want to ESPN this conversation, but maybe. Does he want to? Was there an agreement in place when he went in there? I mean, it's hard to predict what it's going to look like, to be honest with you. It's really, really difficult to predict. So I don't have a ton of argument with your guys' predictions. Mike, any notes to add on those 4 picks before we do the NFC North?
No, I'm good.
Okay, great. Here we are at the NFC North. We're starting out with a little bit of a hot, contentious one. I think since the trade, which happened today, I sent Mike my picks. Then the trade happened, and now all my picks are different. So why don't we do it? Why don't we do it a little differently than the AFC team, just to mix things up? Why don't we go team by team? And let's start with the Minnesota Vikings. I told you 11-6 for them. I kind of want to knock a couple wins off that. What do you think?
So I have them at 10-7. So yeah. I think my question.
I was thinking like the Vikings are regular season merchants. Like Ray was mentioning regular season merchants that exist in the AFC North, which I agreed that they do. Like, teams that haven't really been able to get it done in the postseason, but they win the we only are good in the regular season trophy every fucking year, the Minnesota Vikings, right? Like this is just a known thing. Yeah. Essentially a rookie quarterback coming in to this situation. Yes, they have the number 1 wide receiver, but I don't know. Something smells fishy. Something smells AIDSy over there in Minnesota. What do you think? You think this is?
Just want to point out the last team that you said that about went on a fucking run and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you said maybe that, but I said that about 2 teams, and more recently than I said it about the Eagles, I said it about the Bengals, and then they looked AIDSy as fuck. So I'm actually 50-50 about them on the AIDSy.
That's such a hard adjective. It's
basically cured. What do you
mean? Yeah, for
Magic. Why don't we just say? Because I don't think 11 wins.
Sorry, HIV positive. Fine. God almighty.
I don't think 11 wins is a possibility for the Vikings, and I also don't think 7 is. So
okay.
9-8.
9-8 is fine by me. 9-8 is fine by me, my friend. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I just think like, would that be like, does that get them in the playoffs? Does 9-8 get the Vikings in the playoffs? Because I don't think it does.
I think 9-8 keeps them in 4th place in this division.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I was
So
going to
no.
make that larger point. Like, we had 45 wins in the NFC North last year. The Bears accounted for a portion of those. So some of those wins were accounted for by the Bears.
Correct.
It's a number to be disclosed at a later date. You can Google it. It was 5. So, 45 wins, that makes it the best division of football coming out of the regular season last year. Yeah, so like this is a competitive division. Micah Parsons just got here into this division.
And 27 of those wins were eliminated in week 1 of the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Tough look. We will come on to talk about the Detroit Lions, but I don't actually know if I can make that point without really sort of conceding that the Packers are going to be better than I said they were going to be. So moving on to the Packers, what did you have them at? I had them at 9-8 just to be a dick, and then they got Micah Parsons. What'd you have?
I had them at 11-6. I still feel pretty confident in that. Listen, I think
you don't think we should give them 12 wins? You don't think we should give them 12 wins?
I don't think they're going to win 13. Do you?
I think
if you weren't a Bears fan and you didn't hate the Packers,
that's what I'm saying. If I wasn't a Bear, if I was had my Bears fan hat on right now, I would not be advocating for the Packers to have more wins. This is making me feel fucking nauseous. So just bear with me for a second. But I don't want to sound like a fucking dumbass. I don't want to sound like a fucking homer because at this point, the stars are sort of aligning for them. Like, I don't really rate Jordan Love that highly, as we've talked about. I think he's top 15. That being said, he had a pretty rough go of it last year. He's 15. He had a pretty rough go of it last year. Like everybody said, like in the last show, he had no receivers. He had probably the worst receiving core in the division, if not the conference, if not the league. He basically played hurt for half the games, right? Like there was a lot of injury stuff based on what I actually did feel for them for the first time maybe in my life when they had to play on that shitty field in game 1 to kick the season off. A field that they shouldn't have been playing on. Everybody was sliding around and he gets hurt. That sucks. It sucks for the league. It sucks for content. It sucks for everything. It sucks for Jordan Love. And then he was just sort of in and out of that for the entire season. And still they managed to win 11 games. So they won 11 games last season. Surely Micah Parsons gets them one more game. Surely he gets them at least one, if not 2. They have better receivers now. Matt LaFleur is like a 60%, 65% winning percentage coach. They have winning seasons every season. You don't think Micah Parsons gets them 1 or 2 more wins with a better receiving core and like a slightly upgraded offensive line?
See, I didn't know which DK I was going to be having this conversation with, so I made like the 11-6 thing, thinking that you're going to be like 8-9.
Yeah, I was at first, but then they got Micah Parsons, and now I'm just sad.
So
it's amazing. It's amazing what fucking Parsons does for a team, isn't it?
Yeah, 12-5 is legitimate.
They just became a playoff contender. Like they're the favorite to win the division. I wouldn't be mad at giving them 13 wins.
I'm trying to feel. Is something going on here? Like, are you purposely trying to tank this particular pick?
This is a win-win for me.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a Mike Marcangelo right now.
No, you are. That's why I recognized it.
Yeah, he recognizes the work. I would call this move a Mike Marcangelo. I'm using logic and nothing else. I'm saying, and no other factors, because this is why we make such a good team on this podcast, Mike. I'm all emotion, you're all logic. And I'm saying that if the Green Bay Packers win either 12 or 14 or 13 games, so if we give them a 13-game cushion.
14.
Yeah, but we give them 13, we win on 14, we win on 12, right? So we give them 13 wins. Yeah, but just hear me out, because I think the latter half of this point is really going to sway you. We give them 13 wins. That means if they win 14, we win a point. If they win 12, they win a point. If they win 13, we win a point. If they win any less than that, I'm happy because it's the fucking Packers. So for that reason, I think you should give them. I'll take 12.
12-5.
12-5. Lock it in. Green Bay Packers. 12-5. Just real quick, just because I saw a lot of emotion coming from Ray and Bobby. Do you guys want to jump in for any of that conversation? How many wins could I have gotten away with giving the Packers before you guys said it was absurd? And how many wins could I have taken from them before you guys were like, you're wrecking the show with your horrible homerism?
So, listen, I thought 13 I'd have been like, all right, like 13 is a lot. 8 would have been laughable.
Which is what he had.
Operated in the, I did.
No, right. No.
So when you originally sent it, it was 8. and you came on and you're now arguing 13. That's
14.
diabolical.
Diabolical is what I do, baby.
No, I mean 11-6, 12-5, I think is the sweet spot for that team.
We're in the range.
Even before the trade, like I feel like that's just where they are. Because once again, they've consistently been in that, just regardless who's been there. Like I'm talking about just at the quarterback position. Like that's just what they do. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, you're like when I say about them as well. For the most part, they've been regular season merchants as well. You know,
Hey, they
Unless
do
they're
have
playing
a
the
big.
Cowboys.
every now and then they'll have a big playoff win, but you know, even
If it's the Cowboys,
against the Cowboys,
they'll
yeah, against the Cowboys. There's at least three. There's at least
that
three.
wasn't every year, though. That wasn't every year. That was every year. So,
but Jordan Love's a third-year quarterback now. You know, and I just feel like we're gonna get what we get from him now. We're gonna really see it, and like he's either gonna be the guy or he's not gonna be the guy. And I do think he was faced with a lot of process issues last season and a lot of injury issues last season. So like, let's really see. I mean, I do currently put him at 15th. Like I genuinely do, and I think I made a pretty decent argument to that effect. I don't think it makes me wrong if he has a good season. I think it just moves him up the rankings. You know what I mean? Like I just think he starts to overtake guys because we start to look at what his performance was this season. And honestly, no excuses for him now. He's in a position where it's like you just got Micah Parsons on the defensive end, my friend. Like you basically have to put up 17 points now. You have to be able to go in every week to win a game and put up 17 points. 17 to 21 is your range every week. You don't have to go in there and score 35 points. You're not Joe Burrow. Like you just have to go in there and do that, right? So
I mean, yeah. I mean, Lambeau. I mean, you know, and every fan knows, but Lambeau for the longest time has been the ultimate home field event.
Of course,
yep,
it's not even close.
Especially in December, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So you know,
trust me, it's my literal hell. It's a field of fucking nightmares. Although the Bears are undefeated there in 2025, but yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna keep saying that till it's not true anymore. Yeah, I think you make a lot of salient points. Bobby, how ridiculous would it have been to give him 8 wins?
It would have been pretty ridiculous, especially after the Micah Parsons trade. Especially after the Micah trade. Right?
He never would have accepted it.
I wouldn't have been able to accept it just because of my undying love of Micah Parsons. Even though I'm gonna have to hate him now, but
that would have been a steal, though. That if you said 8, I was like,
well, of course,
instant steal, for sure.
Makes total sense.
But let's not forget the Packers now have a huge hole at defensive tackle. I'm just saying. You know
what we should do? Yeah. I just thought of an additional rule for the game, and I'm going to try and introduce it right now. See how you guys feel. If you steal and nobody wins, nothing happens. If you steal and the original team gets their record right, you should lose a point. Right? Okay. It's like trying to steal a base. Right?
Yeah. You don't get 2 outs if you steal a base, though.
Yeah. Well, no, that's right. You lose 1 point.
Right.
All right,
but you get 2 points if your steal is successful, right? So I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's
okay, we just did it on the fly, guys.
Also, did you just in utter shock at how great you've been for this segment so far, DK?
Thanks, man.
Now I'm hearing like Bob's fandom just bleed through. We just talked about this trade, and he's like, and they traded Micah Parsons for nothing of defensive tackle, and then he just said, but now you've got this big hole at defensive tackle. So,
it is true.
I think you meant it. It's not often.
Subconsciously, I meant it.
It's not often that a trade happens in football that negatively impacts 2 people that aren't Patriot fans on this show.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It's fucking wild.
This whole offseason has felt very missing the point coded.
It impacted me because I was like, once again, you gave.
Oh no, we're not gonna pay him.
He's playing week 1 too, for sure.
Of course,
100% he'll be out there.
Yeah, you gave a bag of Whole Foods to Dallas.
Trader Joe's.
It's fine. Yeah,
Whole Foods is nice.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Can we just go back to the fact that one player made DK go from 8 wins to 13, and that's how vital Micah Parsons actually is.
That's not really what happened, if we're being like totally honest. That's not really what happened.
It helps the narrative.
It helps the narrative a little bit, but I was kind of just trying to get a reaction out of Mike when I sent him that 8 and 9. I really didn't think that was going to go down like that. But I think at the end of the day, it just makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. It just makes sense to sort of say, let's just see what the Packers look like. I don't think they're going to regress after their offseason moves, right? So like we'll just try to be a little bit smarter about this. That being said, I think I'm going to do the same thing with the Bears. I sent you a rundown. I gave them 8 wins.
You sure did.
I'd say their over under is 8.5. I really do believe that Ben Johnson is a good coach. I think we're going to get a McVay LaFleur situation in Chicago.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to happen year one. You know, I'm not under any expectations that it's going to happen year one. I'm considering this Caleb's rookie year. I'm giving him a mulligan from last year, even though his numbers honestly were not that bad, considering the horrendous
You're
coaching
putting him in the Trevor Lawrence category. I'm gonna give him a Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna give him a Trevor Lawrence pass. And honestly, Trevor Lawrence got that because he's like a fucking white quarterback that's supposed to be like the savior of Jacksonville. So like, why don't we all just like admit that? Because he's still getting that fucking pass, like still. And I am very sure that we're done giving him that pass if he looks the same this next year, because I've been out for 2 years on that fucking guy. So at least give me a Caleb Williams mulligan if I'm reasonable about the Chicago Bears in their first year. All I want is to look like a team that could get better in this regime. All I want is for Caleb Williams to have time and protection, and for the mistakes he makes to look fixable and coachable. Yep. I want the ball to leave his hands. I want a bunch of little things. You know, I want the ball to leave his hands quickly. I want Dennis Allen's defense to be like ball hawk, man on. I want it to work. I want to take risks on defense like we used to. I don't want to be a bend don't break pack of pussies like we were under Matt Eberflus. I don't care. Fuck it. Give up the big play, but also make big plays. That's what the Bears' defensive culture and identity has always been about. So I like the idea that Dennis Allen is going to have a renegade defense there, and he's going to make that defense look hard to beat. We were never going to have a good season after that Hail Mary, but that Hail Mary didn't happen in a vacuum. That Hail Mary happened because Matt Eberflus is a fucking idiot, and he's a bad head coach. So sorry, Bob, but it's like hopefully a good D coordinator. Yeah.
He's apparently was a decent defensive coordinator, but I don't know. I don't know if you have the personnel for him over there. So we'll talk about that when we get to the Cowboys. But quite frankly, like, I think we got the right coaches in. Finally.
Yeah.
I think we're early enough on the team. We're one of the younger teams in the NFL, but unfortunately, our strength of schedule is really hard. Our division just got way harder. It was already fucking hard when it started. And I got to be able to give Ben Johnson a year. So I'm happy to go 8 or 9 wins for the Bears. I think that that's what we set for them last year. And they won fucking 5. So we could smash the under on this if you wanted to. And I wouldn't be that upset about it because, again, it's just a reverse win-win. If we win 11 games and I don't win the point, at least the Bears won 11 games. If we win, if we hit our numbers and we win the point, great.
Do you think that 10 is more likely than 7? Because that's what it comes down to. And I'll trust your gut here.
You're putting me in a tough spot because I'm trying really hard not to say nice things about them yet. Like, I'm trying really hard to set expectations low, but honestly, no, with the strength of schedule, man, I mean, we have some tough games. Like, I would smash the under on this. I really would.
Let's just do 8-9.
Yeah, I'll take 8-9 for the Bears. I know it's not as fun, but I just can't. I'm so deflated. I'm so hurt.
That's a +3 though. Like that's huge. That's a huge.
That is a big upswing.
They did get that. They did get that much better. Their coaching is that much better. Their offensive line is much improved. Their defense should be much better. And by the way, you have the guy that I wanted the Patriots to draft, Luther Burden, who I think is going to really surprise you this year.
But on that note, and I don't want to be down on my own team. on that same note, left tackle shaky, defensive line needed improvement and didn't get any. If it was 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons, 2 first-round picks and like a decent D tackle for Micah Parsons, we could have made that happen. And I'm a little upset with them that they didn't. I would have sweetened that fucking deal.
Every team in the NFL is saying that, by the way. It's a Luka Doncic trade.
The Patriots are not saying that.
Every team in the NFL is. Yes, they are. Every team in the NFL.
I think the thing is I think that there's teams in the NFL that if they got Micah Parsons, they still would have given up high value picks. Yeah. Right. I don't think the Packers are one of them. But which is so crazy because on Dallas's part, to be honest with you, but I don't think the Packers are one of them. I think if the Bears get Micah Parsons, I think they become a top 10 team. I think that's fair to say. I think I would be smashing that fucking button at this point because the 2 big problem areas for us, I mean, we just had an injury at safety, and fucking polls just will not draft safeties or edge rushers high in the fucking draft. It's so crazy to me, but whatever. It's our 2 pretty important positions, Ryan. But anyway, whatever. Left tackle shaky. I don't know what's going to happen there. Left tackle is pretty important. I don't know if you guys have heard. Defensive line is shaky. I'm not sure how well we're going to stop the run. We might be able to get to the QB. I don't know. But Yeah, there's also issues there, and also it's the fucking Bears, and they fucking do this to me every year. So whatever they look like on paper, you can't guarantee anything. So I'd go under.
Let's say 8 and 9 because I think 9's realistic, but I do think that 7's more realistic than 10 at this point. That would still be a huge plus. You're gonna have your first 4,000-yard passer in team history this year, which is great. I think Detroit is 10-7.
I want to go lower.
Wow.
Okay,
I want to go
talk
lower.
to me. How much lower? 9 and 8.
You guys remember the Patriots losing? Who was it? Romeo Cornell, and who was your other coordinator that year? Yeah.
Oh,
what happened? What happened the following year?
They went 12-4, and they lost in the divisional round to Denver.
Yeah.
They just didn't look like the same team though.
That was the year Brady got picked off in the end zone. And he returned it for
a lot of shit went down after they lost those teams, and those coaches, and I just feel like in this situation, I guess I'll frame it like this: how smart do you think Dan Campbell actually is, and how smart do you think Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are?
And Jared Goff is no Tom Brady. So what number are you trying to sell me, Dave?
I think 9. Because here's the thing, that means we're taking 6 wins from them from last year. But they have full-blown season from hell potential this year.
Yeah.
Their offensive line got worse. Jared Goff fucking sucks. We all know that. Ben Johnson was making him look.
I don't know that. It's just not great, but
sure. But let's see. I mean, honestly, let's see. We didn't mention him in the top 15 quarterback conversation. The defense, I think they added some guys, but again, I mean, Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson now have head coaching jobs for a reason. They're also coming off a devastating playoff loss 2 years in a row. There might be a little bit of a stench around the Dan Campbell approach to football around that organization. I just could see it.
Yeah. Well, listen, they're relying heavily on Jahmyr Gibbs and
it's a nice thing to rely on. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm saying 9 wins. And I think that's a tough season for them based on their standards they've set over the last 2 years.
So do you think 7? Do you think 8 is more probable than 11?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be 10. 9 or 10 are my 2 most probable. So I want 9 covered either way.
All right, so 9 and 8. I'm happy to do that.
You guys going to steal?
I think we should.
We're going to wait for the rest of the stuff, but wow.
Wait, can we wait to the end, or do we have
No,
to
you got to steal now, or we move on.
We got to steal now, or we move on? All right.
That'd be a wild steal, by the way.
A 9 and 8 Lions season to me is pretty wild. I know they lost both, but losing 6 wins that's a big ass drop off for a team that didn't lose much personnel wise, and to me, it's almost like
they lost their 2 coaches though.
I know, yeah, but
Bobby's going to say that now they're all healthy. This is what we're going to do again.
Yeah, exactly. They're all healthy again. That's what I'm saying, and I just feel like 11 or 12 is more probable. I just think that's a big drop off, man. That's a
third
big
hardest
drop off.
strength of schedule in the NFL.
And but
that's basing it off last year's AFC North. And if we're looking at the Vikings now
NFC.
at 9 and 8, NFC North, right? NFC North. If we're looking at the Vikings now at 9 and 8, and the Bears at 8 and 9,
So the Bears are better. So they cancel each other out. And Micah Parsons just got into their division. I have to mention that. I don't know if you heard us. We did talk about that a few minutes ago, and then again a few minutes before that, and then again a few minutes before that.
Yeah. No,
Steal. I want you to. I'm confident in this one.
I think for me, because you said you made a point about it may get a little pretentious over there in Detroit. Yeah, I remember they went through Bobby Ross. They went through Jim Shorts. I'm trying to think some other guys they had that was just awful over there. Like
Patricia.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this has been for this era of Lions fans, this has been a golden era for them, right? So I don't think it's that. Now, granted, I'm not saying that you should be content with what you have, but I don't think that they can start to get upset when it's like, yo, you went 0-16, you had many 3-win seasons, you had 4-win seasons. Like, appreciate what's in front of you in this moment and continue to build. Of course, people are going to take from the crib when things are going well, and that's what happened. Okay, you should be motivated to say, "Hey, we're not falling out just because we lost, two of our branches. We are still very much about that." So yeah, I like to see how Dan Campbell responds to the challenge. Personally, to me, 11 would have been safe. For me, like if I was doing like 11 wins.
So steal it.
So
yeah.
Okay, Ray, before we do steal, I want to read you off the first 6 weeks of the schedule. So
the third hardest schedule, right?
The first 6 weeks are pretty tough. So Packers, Bears, Ravens, and then the Browns, Bengals, Chiefs. So what's that like?
2 to 3 wins.
Starting off, 3-3.
Well, I mean, that's the same team that we thought was going to get smoked by Kansas City a couple years ago. And they came in there and won opening night. So
that was a couple years ago. That's like kind of my whole point. I was high on them then.
Well, no,
I've been right about them for years.
On paper, it makes sense. But the thing is, the only reason why I'm not ready to go and do like the steal now is because, once again, we haven't heard everyone else's prediction on other teams. So I'm just like, that's there, but it's just like me. I'd rather.
It's not. We move on from the team. You can't steal anymore. So if you want to steal that, you got to steal now.
But you guys have a steal that you guys can use. We have one.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, you cannot go back and say, now because I've heard every other team, I'm going to go steal Detroit. You have to do it in the moment.
It's now or never.
You don't get to look back.
Oh, got you. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not heavy on doing that for now. I'll wait.
Bobby would do it. You can see it in his face. He'd do it right
I would do it.
So we've done one division each, and we've been here for an hour. This is going to be the longest. It's like a telethon on Labor Day. For fuck's sake.
Welcome to football season, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like this conversation. Everything that's been said. There's been no fat in this podcast. Everything that's been said needed to be said, except for like maybe the beginning where we talked about your T-shirt. So let's move on. You're right. Let's move on. So we're gonna go just to recap real quick. Lions we're gonna do 9-8.
Yep.
Packers we're doing 12-5. Bears are doing 8-9, and the Minnesota Vikings are doing 9-8. So honestly, it kind of the best division last year just becomes sort of middling, and the Packers emerge. I think that's realistic.
That's wild. That's a big drive. That's 3 playoff teams last year. What do you think?
We just shaved off 13 wins from that division, but it's fine.
It was an inflated win total. I think we can agree on that. Yeah, so I think shaving wins off that wasn't too terrible of an idea. Okay, let's talk about the AFC South. What do you guys say? I think we can actually go south this one. Go for it.
All right, go
over.
Do you want to take a page out of their book and go team by team?
Yeah, let's do it.
I would, because our book, historic success. Even if it wasn't last year, historic success.
It wasn't. Yeah. What do you mean? It was 1 year. So okay.
Haven't we done 2, Mike? Haven't we done 2 prediction shows together as a team? We're 1-1. Okay, good.
Okay. So Texans, 10-7. What do you think about that? That's what I have, Matt. I know I had them at 9-8 earlier, but I did go up.
We had a different number earlier, but
I did go up and win. I just think, with what they got, CJ Stroud and Ryans as head coach, I just think that easy in that division is worth 10 wins alone. I mean, I think Nico needs to stay healthy for them to get to that rank, but I think 10 wins is good.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought that they could still run away with this division. Now, obviously, we were a lot higher on them last year because we thought that they would be the ones that have thrown, Kansas City. But I just think that, once again, if they're healthy and if they're locked in, they should run away with this. 10 wins should win that division. So, but yeah, I'm fine with 10-7 because I thought 9-8 was too low. So
I mean, let's think about CJ Stroud was literally at a position where we were talking about a top 5 quarterback going into last year potentially, right?
I mean, we were way higher than last year though.
Yeah.
As it turned out.
That's true, but we were even higher on CJ Stroud at the beginning of his rookie year. So
yeah,
I don't know.
You were.
Yeah,
I was had to
that was nice, very magnanimous of you to try to give that away, but you got to take that W.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
So we had Jacksonville 9-8, but I'm like, I feel like it's more closer to like a 7-10 would work better in my opinion when I look at it now. Rookie head coach and Liam Cohen. Yes, I'm going to be excited to see Travis Hunter. I think that he's going to be awesome.
A personal friend of mine.
Yeah, personally.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, vice grip of a handshake, I have to say.
Yeah, also, quick aside, congrats on the baby too. I got that was put out there earlier today. But
did I have a baby? Or are you talking about Travis Hunter? Got it. Phew. Because I've been treating my jizz like liquid plutonium for the past 18 years or so. So I've been real careful. Real careful.
Even when you're careful.
I was like, for the OG listeners, I was going to say, did kicker Clarke make an appearance? Is he?
Not worth it.
That's what the OG listen is. If you know who Kicker Clarke is, that was the next member of the show.
That's fine. You know what? I've gotten a couple promotions since then. I don't need kickers' money. I think we're okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna be fine. And then I don't have to deal with having a fucking kid. That'll save me money on the back end anyway.
There you go. Love that.
So in your opinion,
7-10 though. 7-10 I think is more feasible than the 9-8 for Jacksonville.
So in your opinion, so this is the make or break year for Trevor Lawrence, because now he has Brian Thomas, who's the solidified number one, and Travis Hunter, who is an electrifying, top prospect.
I think he's a number one
last year.
I'd say he's a number one wide receiver. I think he's a
Brian Thomas is the one. Thomas is like a top.
But I think
he is a one.
He is a one.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have an embarrassment of riches over there. I think he could walk into. Off the top of my head, I don't want to name all the teams. I don't want to slow us down, but I think he could walk into half the teams in the NFL and be their number one wide receiver at this point. No?
Agreed. He literally won the Heisman last year. So, I just think 9 is safer, because then we go 8 and 10, and I just think 8 and 10 is more likely than 6 and 8, if that makes sense.
Ooh,
Do you really think the Jags are gonna plummet this year and go 6? I mean, I guess that is plausible because they're the fucking Jaguars.
I think 7-10 is the sweet spot, because I don't know. I try to give that mulligan to rookie head coaches because it's hard in their first year to really be that guy. Every now and then you might find a rookie coach that gets successful. Like, everyone is not a D'Amico Ryans, or that's the first one I think about in recent memory. Or even Tomlin back in the day, he did numbers back then too. So it's hard. The greatest coach of all time went 5-11. So it happens, right? So yeah, I just think, to me, I don't know. It's weird down there, because it's like every 5 to 6 years they have a decent year in Jacksonville. Like, either they'll make it all the way to the AFC Championship game, or they'll go 4-13. But I don't know. I'm comfortable with 7-10. But like I said, if we can meet at 8 and 9, then so be it. I'm fine with that.
Let's meet at 8 and 9. That sounds good.
We should steal Mike. Mike, we should steal Mike. Mike, we should steal.
You think it's gonna be like 6 and 11, don't you?
I do. I'm like nodding. I'm like nodding as if this isn't a podcast.
I'm with you. I am with you. However, Daniel Jones is a starter in that division, and now the Titans have Cam Ward. And if the Jags don't win 8 games, then Trevor Lawrence should be cut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's extreme.
I support it. Stand by.
I think they have the 6. You know what? You're right. They have the 6th easiest strength of schedule. It's not worth the better to steal on it. I would have pushed for 6 if it was us, but it's not worth the steal. Let's not spend too much time on it. Okay, go ahead.
And
you go with the Titans. Go ahead.
Oh, listen. I mean, even though I like Cam Ward being the number 1 pick, I think that he eventually will be a good quarterback. There's still not much there around him, unfortunately, and we've seen that during the preseason. So, I mean, I think we were generous by saying they'll go 4-13. So I think 4-13 would be, something that would be a win for everybody involved, and they got to 4 wins this year.
Yeah, no, completely. Their top offensive weapons are Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard. I mean, I love me some Tony fucking Pollard, but for him,
that is actually his legal middle name. Funny enough.
Fucking Pollard, it is. But for him to be like your top offensive guy leading the way, it's not lighting the world on fire for me. Plus, they have literally no one on defense that I could even name off the top of my head. So I think 4 is good. I don't see them winning more than 5. So I think 4 is the sweet spot for the Titans.
Yeah.
Because then we get 3, and if they happen to get 5 wins and have a good season, you know what I mean? Then we get the point there. So yeah, lock in 4-13.
It's locked.
Yep, and then last but not least, the Colts are all over the place, man. I don't see a path where they really win more than 3 games, honestly.
I mean, just that drama alone, Jesus Christ! Like the whole Richardson thing, it's like fucking light yourselves on fire. That's terrible.
Yeah, no, it is. Once again, the only reason why I was high on him is because he's a Florida Gator. Like, I'm a Florida Gator fan for college football, but
you guys haven't disowned him yet? When he quit on the team?
I didn't think that he was a top 5 pick. I mean, I think that
I thought he was gonna be a lot of fun. That was the thing that really.
Well, I did too, but I think he clearly got picked off potential, which obviously most draft picks do. But it's like, to me, he was a day 2 or day 3 pick that could have grown into being a starter at some point. Like, him getting picked at 4 was insane to me. Once again, shout out to the agent, shout out to those that marketed him. But I always thought that was. I was like, there's no
Even
way.
as a Gator fan, you're saying that.
Right? No, yeah, because you've seen that he had glimpses of that in college. Like, okay, like he could be a really good guy, like depending on where he went, but it
But
was
not a save your franchise guy.
no, not right away. Anyways, no, not right away. So that's that. But yeah, 3-14 once again is is being kind.
Well, with Richardson, dude, I don't know if you remember this, but I messaged you like when he was at Florida, he was electric in this week 1 game. I forget who he was against. I think it was against like Stanford or something like that. But they ended up losing the fucking game.
They always play Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah.
But they ended up losing the game. And it was like, that's Anthony Richardson in a nutshell to me. He's going to make electric plays. He's going to look like he is a top 5 pick. But at the end of the day, he's not going to be winning you football games. He's a guy that checks out because he's fucking tired and he's your goddamn quarterback. The fact that the Colts just picked Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson is just, it's unbelievable to me. And I really can't see this team getting any more than 4 wins. So 3-14 is definitely the sweet spot here, because I feel like 2 is definitely possible, because I mean, Daniel Jones being your starting quarterback is going to be a disaster. And Jonathan Taylor might not make it through the first 10 weeks because he's going to be carrying the ball 25, 30 times a game. So yeah, three is definitely the sweet spot there. I think we should stick there.
Mike, is there any inkling, any little twitch inside you that wants to steal?
I kind of want to steal that.
Okay. All right. Talk me into it.
I just think so. We've gone over that division. The bright spot in that division are the Texans. You and I both think that the Jags are trash. We both think that the Titans are trash.
Yeah.
I think that the Colts are better than the Titans. And I could be persuaded to believe that they could sweep the Jags.
They could like win this division.
No, that would be the Texans. But
I think that's insane.
I think 5-12.
They're plus 10,000 to win the Super Bowl.
I probably
they got to be in the bottom 5, right? They're bottom 5 in Super Bowl for sure. I'm telling you, Daniel Jones. Listen, Daniel Jones is a starting quarterback, and
how many wins did he get last year in worst division, or in a harder division? Sorry.
Well, he didn't finish the year. I mean, wasn't DeVito the quarterback there most of the year?
Yes, New England Patriot, Tommy DeVito.
Correct. That's
New England.
Tommy Cutlass, baby.
So I mean, listen,
he has the vibe. Honestly, he should be the backup QB in New England.
5 or 6 wins is doable, and I think that's the sweet spot for the Colts.
Yeah, I'd give him 6. I'd take 6 for the steal.
Steal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
All right.
Why not?
NFC.
So wait, you guys said what? You guys said
they said 3-14. I got the whole list for you.
Well, we could do 5 then, right? And still like cover ourselves on both sides.
That's what I said. Yeah, 5-12.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do 5-12. Yeah, let's do 5-12.
Okay, love that for us.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
I can't wait to root for the Indianapolis Colts this year. We put ourselves in a terror, and then not like there's the best thing about stealing is like you're like, it's going good. We stole and they got to 3 wins, and you're like, yeah, there's like fucking 9 games left. It's like they can't win 3 more. I get excited. You shoot me.
I'm about to give 4-1.
Yeah, and you gave the Texans what? Sorry, 10-7.
10-7. Yeah.
Okay, so it was 10-7.
Oh, you're writing it down too. Okay, great. Well, we'll all write it down. Go.
Yeah. Texas 10-7, Jags 8-9, Colts 3-14, which we stole for 5-12, and Titans 4-13.
Okay. That's what I have too. Comparing notes.
I always write this shit down for you, dude.
Do you? That's so
yes.
Nice. Yeah, and then you change history later. Let's go. So that's why I'm keeping my own fucking notes now. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to the NFC South. God, every South division is so bad.
Sucks.
This is so crazy. All right, let's take a team by team. I feel actually pretty good about the picks that I made in this division. I think we were pretty comparable, I want to say. Was there anything we were... I think let's start with the Panthers because I'm way higher on the Panthers than you. I want to give him 7 wins because I just think Bryce looks good. I genuinely just think he looks good. I think he's got an actual weapon now. This division is fucking terrible. Like, they're going to play the New Orleans Saints twice, a team I strongly think is the worst team in football right now. I think that they're worse than the Cleveland Browns. I think that they're going to play the Atlanta Falcons twice. I think that bodes well for them as well. I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are good, although they're a little bit more of a wild card for obvious reasons. We'll come on to talk about that. I think Bryce looks all right, man. And I think with a true number 1 option and how high we were on this podcast on that draft pick, I think I could see him getting to 6. I know what you're going to say already. Let's bring him down to 6 because 5 is more likely than 8. I already know what you're going to say. This logic makes sense. Now that I'm reading what I wrote, this is how your brain works, and it has won you a lot of these. So let's say 6-11, and I think we can handshake on that.
Love that.
Atlanta Falcons, I had at 8-9. I don't know. A team that makes me wish there was still only 16 games so I can give them 8-8. You know, like they're truly the team that makes me wish I could call like exactly the same amount of wins as losses. Let's call them 8-8-1. Like that's the vibe I get off of the Atlanta Falcons. We should get like 3 points for that if we call that correctly.
I'll give you that. I'll give you 3 points if you get that.
Yeah, right. I bet you fucking would. It's not gonna happen. That's such a specific pick.
You get to lose. You have to lose a point if you get it wrong.
But no, if there's any team, which is why you said it out loud, if there's any team that would happen to though, it's them.
I know.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, we can lock that in.
I mean, it would be fun to do, but how about 5? We have 5 points.
It's very fair because they remind me a lot of the Cowboys of like 5-6 years ago, who used to go 8-8 every year, who had mad weapons. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they have a lot of offensive weapons. This is, I think, a make or break year for Kyle Pitts. We figure out if he's actually an NFL tight end or if we should all stop drafting him in the 6th round of a fantasy draft just because we haven't drafted a tight end yet. And then Michael Penix, we'll figure it. Like now we're going to see if this makes fucking sense or if it,
right.
You still have a $35 million a year backup.
I mean, they get if they have a real player in him, like God, the vindication, the amount of shit that everybody gave them. I think we were even a little bit less hard on them than like the rest of the sports media like enterprise, because like it was like, well,
it's because we knew Kirk Cousins sucks.
Right. Because it was like, wow, what is he the fucking future? Give the kid a year for God's sake.
When they picked him 9, we were like, well, yeah.
I would too. I fucking hate Kirk Cousins. I need a different guy.
They have the white Dak Prescott. I'm okay with 8-9.
Cool. I would also be okay with 9 and 8, but like just because I think it's it's in that range, but
10's not in.
That's totally fine. 8 and 9's cool for them. Who else is in this division? Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, 11-6. I don't know. Like I really like their weapons. I think everybody does. I don't think this is like crazy.
But it's still Baker, and there's so much upside.
Baker's
to him.
Good.
Baker's very good now. Yeah, I know.
I said on this show with you two last week.
The jury's out.
The last 3 years, Baker Mayfield has better stats than Patrick Mahomes. That's true, but he's still Baker.
Everybody's claiming this take. I don't know. You got to go review the tape. I never was that high on him, but Ray was claiming the Baker take. You're now claiming the Baker take.
Well,
we talk about a Baker's dozen there, Bob.
So put it like this. I think I was higher on the team, right? And then I just said, well, I think that Baker could be good. I was higher on the team, not necessarily him as the quarterback.
I put them in my power rankings pretty early last year, if you remember. If you remember, they were in the power rankings pretty early.
DK, do you think they could win 13 games?
Tampa Bay?
No.
Yes. Okay. Do you think they could win 9 games and only 9 games?
Yes.
So do you think they can only win 8?
No.
So 10-7.
That's what I said originally. You said 11.
I had 11-6, but if you're
10-7 works for me.
Okay.
Because you're gonna blame me for this if we fuck it up, but I have to say, like,
I just want to point out that
we're using your logic.
Like, we're using the majority of the blaming on tonight's episode.
No, I'm being defensive. There's a difference. There's a difference between going out blame and being defensive.
Offensively defensive.
You guys really are perfect.
That's
perfect fucking team.
That's how I get defensive. That's how I do it. I attack. That's just a horrible defense mechanism that's been ingrained in me from childhood, and Sigmund Freud says it's not my fault. So,
Saints,
yes, I've been defensive. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Me too.
Okay, great. Fuck them. Fuck you guys.
Fuck them.
The New Orleans Saints. I mean, I don't know. I was never big. I've said this like so many times on the show, so I won't harp on it. But I was never big on their coaching. I thought it was scummy when they got done for that bounty thing. But there is something kind of likable about that franchise. You know, we remember Katrina. You know, it was tough.
They got the cool uniform. They got
pretty cool uniforms. I always liked Drew Brees. Like I always liked Drew Brees. I think that's like a big part of it. I think he was like a pretty likable QB. I always liked Reggie Bush, to be honest with you. So I was a pretty big Reggie Bush guy. So they always had really cool skill players.
Remember the Reggae Bush commercial? Reggae Bush.
100%. Yeah, I think Kamara's like a lot of fun still. I think you could still draft him on your fantasy team, and I think he'd score you a lot of points. I think they've always had really cool skill position players like that. Like that's the type of skill position player the Saints have.
Yeah, Olave, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, it's cool to watch. But unfortunately at the quarterback position, nah, dude. Nah.
What's worse, Browns or Saints? Which quarterback room is worse? The Saints?
I honestly, I don't think I would want Spencer Rattler being like the best of that situation. Like that is so bleak.
I'm just going to tell you right now that if the Saints had drafted Shedeur Sanders, I would have them at 5 wins as opposed to fucking 3. Because I think he's an actual serviceable quarterback.
Low key, you're high on Shedeur.
Yeah.
I kind of was too in the power ranking show when that just me and Bobby did the very first one, obviously because we started at 32, so we did talk about the Browns. It was just me and Bob, and
too for way too long.
Bob was surprised that I said he was going to start week 1 of the regular season. I mean, he's looked both fine and fucking terrible in the preseason, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm right or not. But by the way they're cutting guys, I don't know. He probably will. Like honestly, he probably will.
The way they threw him out there that last game, you can't blame him for that, though. They literally cut the entire offensive line that was blocking for him. They cut. So
if you're a quarterback on the Browns, when you look good, it's all because of you, and when you look bad, it's because it's the fucking Browns. So I don't really hold that against him, and he's a rookie. So I think the positive outweigh the negative.
That's pretty fair. That's a really salient point, Mike. I don't mean to sound surprised when I say that. Sorry.
So fucking condescending.
Oh, no. I know. I heard it. That's just because of my terrible personality flaws. That's not my fault. I agree with you about the New Orleans Saints. We're totally fine to move past the NFC South. You guys want to steal any of the NFC South teams?
No. I think you guys are pretty spot on with that.
Just
if you went to 10, if you went to 10 with the Bucks, I would have.
We did. The Bucks are 10-7. Atlanta's 8-9. New Orleans is 3-14. Carolina 6-11.
Good recap. So Way to fit that in riposte to what Bobby was saying. That was really skillful.
We did do the thing that you said that we didn't do, and you're still not going to steal it.
No, I think 10 is what I would have had him at anyway. So
okay, all right.
I already know which one they're going to steal. I know where me and Mike are going to land on one that's coming up, and I know that they're going to take it. So. It's fine. I was hoping.
I did think about the Carolina one though, because I'm like, Swins was a choice, but
I was trying to goad you guys into a steal, honestly, in the first division. I was trying to go because there's one that's
long enough. I know.
Yeah, we have to take a punt on at least 1 or 2 teams here, and I think Mike and I are in sort of agreement on it. So anyway, you guys should go to the East, AFC East. Why don't you talk about
East? Okay,
sir.
All right, so we'll kick it off with the Bills. Bills 12-5. That's what I have them at. I just see Josh Allen is going to lead another potential MVP season. They got Bosa added on defense. So, I just see the Bills taking it up a notch this year. So 12-5. What were they last year? 13?
Let me look. I think it might have been 14. Hold on.
Well, the Chiefs were the number 1 seed.
13-4. No, you're right. 13-4.
Yeah, it's 13. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to go 13. I think they're exactly what they were last year, 13-4. I just see Josh Allen leading them right back to where they were last year. Potential number 1 seed in the AFC right here.
Yeah, we got the Patriots at 9-8. Which I'm like, to me, obviously would be a massive jump for where they were the last couple of years. Obviously,
I'm kind of mad we use their steal now.
But I think that. There's been some other choices on both sides. We're just like, hey, we're not sure, but hey, you gotta take risks.
I'm just surprised, honestly, considering your general approach to you basically treat the teams that you watch like they're kids you didn't want to have. So I feel like the standard you hold your teams to is so fucking high. And I think that this Patriots team is good. Don't get me wrong. I think that they have a bright future. I think getting Vrabel was good. I really genuinely do, but I think you're a year early on that 9-8. I really do. That's the only reason I say that. I'm not trying to be an asshole about the Patriots.
Well, we're in year 7 of the rebuild, DK, for fuck's sake. Don't tell me
you're in year 1 of the rebuild.
Yeah,
I know that.
That was a dig at me, but that's fine because
I know
it's true.
I listen to the shows I'm not on.
It's true. When it's just it's been like this since 2019, and it's like people don't want to acknowledge that. It's like that's crazy. It's not just Mike. It's a lot of Patriots. Like, oh no, this is year 2. No, they've sucked for years. It is time that something turns around. Please, I'm begging. I don't know. I think that they've been more intentional about obviously getting back to what the culture once was, which shifted my mindset to an extent. Um, once again, I wasn't going to go extreme and say, "Oh, they should win 10 or 11 games." Like that's not that would have been comedy. But I think 9 is a very high ceiling. But I think that's the ceiling that they can have. But I could be swayed to 8 and 9 or 7 and 10 if that was the case.
Yeah, I think so. I know I might have sent you 9 and 8, but I feel like 8 is safer because I feel like 6 is more likely than 10 at this point.
You get points for none of those.
So 7 is more likely than 9, is what I meant.
So
just you know what I
so
just
7 and 10.
7 and 10. I think 7 and 10 is a little safer here.
I mean, this is where I become DK because I'm like, obviously if I get the point, cool. But if they go higher, then I can be like, told you so. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. Lock it in 7 to 10.
Notice how he referenced you, DK, and not me. Just want to point that out.
It was the Mike Marcangelo logic I used. In fairness to you,
wholeheartedly agree. All right, Dolphins.
It was 7 and 10, but I'm like, to me, that's high.
I wish we used our steal.
High. Okay, good. I like that. I thought you were gonna say it was low. I'm with it.
No, listen. I just don't think Tua is gonna stay healthy. So I have no confidence that he stays healthy throughout the season. And once again, Miami does this. This is what they do. They'll be good for a few years and then they'll tail off. So I mean, granted, I feel like 5 and 12 might be too low, but I'll say 6 and 11 for them. I'll say 6 and 11, so a game less.
Yeah, no, I'm with 7 and 10. So we go 7 and 10. We get 6 and 11 and 8 and 9 out of them. So I'm with that 100% because I completely agree. For the same exact reasoning, I don't see Tua staying healthy here. I just don't do it.
Bobby, I gotta stop you. You just listened to what he said, and then said something different, and said, "I 100% agree with you. 7 and 10." He said 6 and 11.
Yeah, they're in the same range, though.
Yeah, it's same range. So I think 7 and 10.
Well,
you guys do have to decide.
Can we agree on 6 and 11 though? Because that still gets us the 8 and 9, or that gets us the win anyway. Oh, it gets us the point if we fall in that range. So I think 6 and 11 to me would be more feasible for them at this moment, in my opinion, anyways. But
this is wild.
All right, I'll go 6 and 11. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Let's do it.
I think I'm going to change who my first coach fired is. If the Dolphins go 6 and 11, I'm changing my first coach fired. We'll get to that later, but that's definitely happening. So then we'll move on to the Jets. I got the Jets at 8 and 9. I just think Fields is going to lead this team to around a 500 record. I really like Aaron Glenn, and I think the offense he's going to install there is going to be very good with the run with Breece Hall and Justin Fields leading the way. So I got 8 and 9 for the Jets.
This was our biggest disagreement. Like, because I put Fields, even though I think Fields still has potential to be something decent. He hasn't fully shown it yet. He might be a tick or two above a guy we just talked about in Bryce Young over in Carolina. To me, 8 wins with Fields as a leader right now. I can't.
Never seen it.
Can't see it. Right? Yeah, I'd go 6 and 11 for them too. I go 6 and 11 for the Jets. I think that's more reasonable. 8 would be that'd be a high end turnaround for them. But yeah, 8 and 9. I mean 6 and 11 to me is more feasible for that team. In the first year anyway. They may change it the year after, but this year I think they go 6 and 11.
So could we settle on 7 and 10? I think they're just so much more improved out of last year, and I just see more wins out of this division. Right now we have Pats 7 and 10, Jets 7 and 10, Dolphins 6 and 11. So there's got to be some wins coming from somewhere, and I just feel like we got to give the Jets at least one more.
That's fine. Yeah, we can be in the middle and say Jets go 7 and 10. That's fine. We'll do that.
All right. So Jets 7 and 10. We'll lock that in.
So Patriots 7 and 10, Bills 13 and 4, Dolphins 6 and 11, Jets 7 and 10.
Yep.
Perfect. I wish we had our steal still.
I would have stolen like 2 of those. What do you think?
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you have the Jets at?
7 and 10.
Yeah, that's too many. I don't know.
Dolphins at 6-11 is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, that's probably what we would. I think that's what we would have picked. Like, I think I would have given them maybe 2 more wins. I think that's what we would have done, right, if we stole anything in this division. But I get what he's saying about Tua being healthy because he never is. I get what he's saying about like I get it. I get being down on the Dolphins. It's just like I don't know. I just feel like I do like McDaniel still. Like maybe it's just I thought you did.
I like him as a coach.
He's the second best coach in that division.
Sure.
Not saying,
but I don't know. To me,
behind Vrabel, by the way, not McDermott.
I was hoping that's what.
I mean, either way,
I think he's the third best coach in the division.
I don't know. I like McDaniel too. I just don't think that. I don't know. Just whenever they've had a roster that was supposed to do something special, once again since Bob Greasy, it's just never happened. And they've had a lot of great players come through there. It just never happens. So I'm going with the trend.
I thought 7-10 was wild when I sent it to him. The fact that we're going 6-11, I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I love that for you too.
I'm sure you do.
I should have said no. I'm okay with our steal actually. We always fucking blow our load too fast anyway. We're premature Steelers. That works in a few ways. All right, let's do. What do you want to do next, Mike? You pick.
We have to do the NFC East for sure.
Okay, let's do the NFC East.
Philly, 14-3.
Mm-hmm.
They lost like an all-pro defensive tackle, and to quote you, it was their 5th best defensive tackle from last season. They didn't get worse.
You better hope that's not true.
I don't care. I mean, it's.
You do.
Saquon, I think he's going to stay healthy because we talked about it last week.
Yeah, he had a lot of usage last year.
Right. But he wasn't touched within 5 yards of getting the ball at all last year, so it was better usage.
I'm honestly, I'm not even. I'm
jumping over people.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Honestly, I was gonna feign an argument here. I would be closer to going to 15 than 13 with them, to be 100% honest with you. So I think 14 is fine.
Perfect. Commanders.
I think they're going to regress. I think it's fucking obvious that they're going to regress. I think it's obvious, guys.
I don't know.
I think
Terry's back.
Terry is 1 billion years old. They're the oldest team in the NFL.
Wait,
they're the oldest team in the NFL.
That's not Terry's not that old.
No.
How old is he?
Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, how old is he?
He's like 28, isn't it?
He's like 26, 27.
I guess he just feels like he's been around forever. Fine, but they're the oldest team in the NFL. That's a fact. They're the combined oldest team in the NFL. It's got regression written all over it. Jaden Daniels' second-year slump. Like, you've seen it in almost every even good QB coming into the league. Unless you're telling me that he's going to become a pencil him in for 11 wins guy next season, I'm not saying that they're going to have a terrible season. I'm saying they should have added to their defense, and they didn't. They had I'd say they had
Von Miller.
Okay. Now I'm going to say a sentence that is true. Von Miller is 1 million years old. All right.
Laramie Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil is 2 million years old.
Laramie Tunsil is an offensive lineman, which they desperately needed. But Dietrich Wise is a young player. I know
they've added guys, but you have to think they went from one of the easiest schedules to one of the hardest. I think they got 3 pretty lucky wins. Like, as much as the Bears are fucking idiots, that was pretty lucky. Like, they should have lost to the Bears last year. I think they had a pretty decent schedule, and I think they had that Cinderella story. Every single one of their games, it feels like this season, is either Sunday night or Monday night or in fucking Europe, or like they have the full-blown spotlight on them. It's all the red flags, Mike. We have to respond to the red flags. No, 9 wins.
No, because you don't think 8 is more likely than 11.
I 100% do.
So he's gonna have a sophomore slump. Caleb Williams gets the pass for his rookie year, so this is actually his rookie year. So none of this, like, we're not holding everyone to the same standards. So let's just say 10.
But that's not my point. My point is they have a way schedule. They're in prime time for like 40% of their weeks.
They actually have a number 2 wide receiver now, like a legitimate number 2 wide receiver in Deebo Samuel. Like, their offense got better, their defense did not get worse, and if you it's just a matter of if you believe in Jaden Daniels. And do you think that the Giants,
the Vegas over
or the Cowboys got better?
9.5. The Vegas over under the Commanders is 9.5.
So
I'm not
10.
operating at an insane. I'm not operating at an insane level, right?
I agree.
Like I get how our game works. It doesn't designed specifically to not correlate to the over/under by getting you a win on either side of like you get a 1-win grace. So I'm not trying to play this card, but realistically, they have to play a lot of tough teams. Can I read you out their schedule just to try to make this pitch?
DK, I will go with 9 and 8 if you go with my Dallas pick before you know it.
Nice.
Can I try to convince you? Yeah, I'll consider that while I simultaneously read you out their schedule.
Yeah.
In an effort to, in good faith, convince you of the 9-win prediction and 8 and 10 being more realistic than 9 and 11. Okay.
No, none of those numbers are real.
No, I was talking about the 2 wins on either side.
Yeah, you're right. I was wrong. You're right. I was wrong, DK. Yep.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God. Can we get that in writing? Okay. They start their week off playing the Giants. Okay.
Win.
We can give them 1 win there. Then they play the Packers.
Win.
They're beating the Packers after everything that we just fucking talked about on the show already.
Yes. All
right. I can already see this isn't going to go well.
Just wait.
I don't even know if this is worth it. It's Thursday in Lambeau Field. It's Thursday night in Lambeau Field, and you're saying they're going to beat the Packers. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, you're doing this in good faith.
Hey,
Yeah.
The Commanders.
You're pretty clearly doing this in good faith.
Jaden beat Micah twice last year.
Just trust me here.
Okay. Then the Raiders come to them. We can give them another win.
Okay. Yep.
Then they play the Falcons. We can give them another win. Then they play the Chargers.
No. They lose that game.
Okay, fine. 3-1. Then they play the Bears in the Bears revenge Hail Mary game.
Wait, do you say the Chargers?
Yeah.
They lose to the Chargers, another 3-2.
Okay. That's weird, but all right, fine. I'll take it. It's helping me. Then they play the Bears in the revenge game. You can make the call.
Win. 4-2.
Cool. Then they play the Cowboys.
Win.
Then they play the Chiefs.
Loss.
4-3. Then they play the Seahawks.
Win. 5-3.
Then they play the Lions.
Loss. 5-4.
Yeah, you were higher on them, so that's fair enough. Then they play the Dolphins.
Win. 6-4.
Then they play the Broncos.
Win. 7-4.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Then they play the Vikings.
Loss. 7-5.
Okay, we're all over the fucking map here, but fine. I don't know who you think they're better than at this point, but fine. Then they play the Giants again because they have to.
Win.
7-5. Now,
no,
we're
they're 8-5. They're 8-5 with the win over the Giants.
Okay, 8-5, and now watch how we finish this out. Eagles.
Loss.
Cowboys.
Win.
Eagles.
Win. Because the
So
Eagles
you
will
got
have
yourself to 9 wins.
Because the Eagles will have their.
You got yourself to 9 wins,
benched.
which is what I'm asking for.
I got 10 wins. They're 10-7, and
you gave them a win against the Eagles. That was absurd. Okay, cool. So 9 wins seems fair then, because you had a couple wild ones in there. You did offset it with some weird losses, actually. Yeah. Fuck it, whatever. Do 10. I'll do 10.
The Eagles will be resting their starters in week 18.
Oh, I see your point. I do. Okay. I still think 9. I'll take it. You get to call the Cowboys. Whatever you think the Cowboys. I'll take it. I'll take the deal. Okay. I'm going to go 9 wins for the Commanders.
All right, so Giants 4-13.
What did I have? That does sound pretty correct. I had 5-12. I can't muster a fuck to give about the Giants, so sure. 4-13 is totally fine. I don't want to talk about them. Fuck those guys. Moving on. We spent way too long on the Commanders to give the Giants any minutes. Sorry, the city of New York, except I'm not that sorry. Go on.
Cowboys 7-10.
Okay. I made the agreement.
I'm being intellectually honest because I did say last week that I think that the Patriots are going to have more wins than the Cowboys.
Okay. I agreed already. I pre-agreed.
Well, the pre-keys.
I prematurely agreed. So you win.
Great.
7 wins for the Cowboys. Let's go. Bobby, sorry, dude. Do you guys want to steal any of those NFC East picks?
If they went 9 for the Commanders, I would have thought about it.
Did you
go 9 or did you go 10? No, you went.
We went 9. That's the second time.
I thought you agreed on 10.
You've done that.
No, you agreed.
I made the agreement that I would take whatever Mike said about the Cowboys, so I could get my 9 wins. Steal the Commanders. Go ahead. That's the one I knew you were gonna fucking steal.
I kind of want to steal the fucking Commanders. I really do. I think the Commanders get 11. I think the Commanders get 11, and I think it's very possible that they compete with Philly this year. I
You
don't see
found
the
11
downward.
wins in there of me reading. I even gave you the benefit of reading out all those teams. You counted to 11 on wins for sure.
I think they can get there, man. I believe in Jaden. I think last year showing that he can show up in the playoffs like that as a rookie. I really like Dan Quinn as a head coach. I wish he was the fucking head coach of
We
the
know.
Cowboys at this point. I think we steal the Commanders, man. I mean, unless you think there's another team coming up in the last division that you think we could steal, I think the Commanders are where it's at right here.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
So you have to pick 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. So 11. All right. That's fine.
11-6. So that's a repeat of what they did last year. So that's literally exactly the same level that they were at last year.
With a way
I'm
harder
okay with
schedule.
But the Cowboys just got a lot worse. The Giants just got a lot worse. So there's 4 guaranteed wins right there. Plus, you just said Philly's
Guaranteed
going to be
wins. You're
resting.
guaranteeing those wins. I'll take side action on that. If you're guaranteeing those wins, I'll take they lose one of those games. If you're guaranteeing 4 wins, I just need them to lose one of those 4 games. That's 100% fine with me. Let's bet. Yeah, you see, they're not guaranteed
Maybe
wins.
later.
You fucking
Maybe
see?
later. Maybe later. But I think they get at least 11.
Honestly, Mike, at least
At
we're in a
least?
position. Yeah,
Sorry,
fine.
DJ.
Let them steal
sorry.
it. Let them steal it. Honestly, let them
Yeah,
steal it because
they're
at least we're in a position now that if I'm so out on a limb that I've like convinced you of this and they've stolen it. So I could give them a 3-point flip on this just by pushing this agenda so hard. So at least it'll be my fault for sure next season if we don't win. And it'll be all your credit, or at the end of this season, I should say, if I don't win, and it'll be your credit if we win, if that happens. Or we could have pissed their steel up a wall, and here we are. So it's a big swing. We're on a big swing with the Commanders. Okay, well, we already decided the Cowboys. They've stolen the Commanders. Do the West, guys.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
Get away, Ray. No, you take it away. Go ahead.
Okay.
Somebody go.
Somebody go. Right. All right. So Kansas City, 12-5. I mean, obviously they've been the constant in the NFL since Mahomes has been there. I don't think they go 15-1 like they did last year or 15-2. I think that, they as that team collectively gets older, I just feel like they just continue to find ways to either rest guys or not take their regular season as seriously because they feel like they can win anywhere, and that's because it's true, they can. So 12-5, I think, is feasible for Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I like 12-5. I just don't think, I love Mahomes, and I think he's going to step it up a little bit this year that he did last year. But I'm not sure if the defense can be at the same level as that they were last year, which is what it would take for them to get to that same level they were. So I think 12-5 is a good sweet spot for the Chiefs.
So any thoughts on that, fellas?
I mean, they're a perennial 13-win team. They won 14 games last year without Rashee Rice, without Pacheco for most of the season, with the withering Travis Kelce. I think, and without Hollywood Brown. And now, theoretically, yeah, Travis Kelce's a year older, but all your offensive weapons are back and healthy. As long as
Rice for now, but yeah.
No, he's healthy. He just shouldn't be driving. I mean, but
no, right. But I'm saying
suspended now though. Yeah,
suspended him 6 games is what I'm saying. He's not there right away. I'm saying. Yeah, that's all. But yeah, no, correct.
I just think I mean it's hard to argue it because like if you're playing this game the right way, you can't really fuck around with this Chiefs pick. You guys are just saddled with this Chiefs pick, so it just makes sense. Like you just have to play smart.
Right.
Yep.
So next, the Chargers at 11-6. I mean, obviously, we know Bobby was early on that Herbert pick back in 2020. I think we're expecting him to take another leap under Harbaugh's, tutelage. So, and once again with them, I always talk about the Chargers being healthy. Like, if they're healthy, they're going to be in the playoffs, and granted they may not make it far, but they're going to go to the playoffs, right? So, I've always liked what they've done over there, but I think that they go 11-6. Anything to add on that, Bobby?
no, I think 11-6 is a sweet spot right there. It's a little bit of an improvement from last year in year 2 of Harbaugh, which I think is perfect. I think Herbert takes that next step this year, and I think we see him as a top 10 quarterback coming into next year. So I think 11-6 is a perfect spot for them.
Yeah. So next we go into the Broncos, going 10-7. Bo Nix, who turns 41 this year.
He turns 45 this year.
Yeah, it's like actually, it's not. He actually turns 50. So he turns 50.
He turns 56 this year. That's absolutely crazy. I can't believe he turns 61 this year.
Yeah.
That means, Mike, that means he's done 61 years, right? Like, that doesn't mean he is 61. It means he's 74. Sorry,
Correct.
go on.
Right. So 151 in dark. No, but I mean, Bo Nix had a really good rookie campaign. I just think that, obviously, Sean Payne saw something in him, and he played really well under him last year. So, I mean, he has no choice but to take a leap when you're 94 years old. So I just think that's where
I think we should celebrate him for turning 100
This
years
is like
old. He saw both centuries.
It just keeps getting longer and longer as we go on.
Yeah.
That is the joke, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, yeah. So 10-7, I think is a pretty good spot for Denver. That, like I said, they're not a team that's going to be a super contender, but they'll be, that 5th to 6th seed, team or 7th seed like they were last year. So, any thoughts on that?
No, I'm right in that wheelhouse. I have always been very high on Bo Nix. I was last year coming out of the draft.
You were.
The thing
Real football name, that's why.
Exactly, real football name, and plus, like I said, I've said this a million times. He's Taysom Hill on steroids. Taysom Hill that can actually throw the football, and we know how much fucking Sean Payton loved Taysom Hill. So it's just a perfect quarterback for his offense. It's like what he always wanted in New Orleans, and he just never could get that skill set out of him. So I just see the Broncos 10-7. I think that's perfect. Again, right around the same lines as they were last year, and I don't see much, teetering off of that. And then the Raiders, lastly, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah. So, well, listen, 7-10, which now when I even think about that, I feel like that might be too high. I'm comfortable with knocking that back down to like 5-12. I have little to no faith. The only faith I have is in their minority owner. That's Tom Brady. Like, once again, I like the kid from Boise State, Aston Jeancy. I think that he is eventually going to be a really good player in this league. But
I think he's going to be a really good player almost immediately. Just for
I
agree with you about the Raiders.
He's going to have to be. I mean, when you have him and Brock Bowers, I mean, you should have some type of offense there, but it's just
a competent head coach and a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah,
and you're still only picking them at 5-12.
I'm gonna go. I think we stick with 7. I guess we can go in the middle and say 6.
Yeah, I don't see no. Go ahead.
No, I just see Geno. I think Geno's a little more competent than you're giving him credit for with the weapons that he has. I know Jacoby might not be like a very solid number 1 over there, but I just think with Brock Bowers and with Amari Cooper is Amari Cooper. Yeah, it's the shell of Amari Cooper at this point. But I mean, it's still Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and
right.
I think the combo of them at least is worth 7. I know it's a tough division. But
right, which is that's my thinking. Like, because to me, that means we'd have them splitting against Kansas City and LA, and I'm like, I don't think they beat the Chiefs, and I don't think they split with the Chargers. So to me, that's 4 losses right there. You got a shot against Denver, but to me, when you're playing that many games in that division and every team, like you had 3 playoff teams in there last year, so I'm just like, to me. 7 would be a reach.
Wasn't one of their losses to the Chiefs last year when their field goal was blocked? Like, wasn't that Black Friday game? Like,
yeah,
it feels like the weird part about this division is that I think historically, over like the last 10 years or so, the Raiders have been terrible, the Broncos have been terrible, but they still play the Chiefs and the Chargers pretty tough.
Yeah.
Oh no, they play them tough, but it's just like, can you go in there? Can you go in the Arrowhead, or can you win at the crib? So I'm just not confident. Once again, Allegiant Stadium is not the black hole. It's not. It's not the same. I'm still waiting to go there because I don't want to pay $3,000 just for a ticket. But it's not the same vibe there. So, yeah, they have a lot of roster building they need to do there still and in Vegas. But once again, you have a running back now. You have a tight end. Once again, we'll see if Geno can be, what he's been in Seattle the last few years. But because like I said, he gave a really great quote. They wrote me off, but I never write back. Well, let's see if you can continue that trend. So, but I'm fine with meeting in the middle and say 6-11 instead of 7-10.
All right, 6-11.
Cool.
So you have the Kansas City at 12-5, Chargers at 11-6, Broncos at 10-7, Raiders at 6-11.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, all I can say about that is I'm pretty glad we're not predicting this division because I think that all four of those teams could fuck you. I think there's a potential to miss out on all four of those, and I don't think it'll be your fault because I think a lot of the things you said were completely reasonable. I might have erred on a little bit of a different side with the Raiders. I do think that they have weapons. I probably would go, Mike, if you would agree, like just based on your body language, I think we might have gone the 7 or 8 route with them. But honestly, like, geez, that's a little bit of a stinker of a division to try to predict, just considering even the Chiefs, you have to pencil Mahomes in for at least 11, right? Like you just have to. But
right. And not
I don't
9.
know, man.
So like
Yeah,
you're
they're
always
coming
in the
off a
11, 12 range.
smacking, you know what I mean? Like they got absolutely steamrolled in the Super Bowl, but you can't count on Mahomes, and Travis Kelce hasn't looked the same in 2 years, and the offensive line was bad and got worse by losing like the only good players on it, hopefully, for me. And it's just like I don't know, but he could still win 11, 12 games. You have just absolutely no fucking idea. So then you're looking at the Raiders and you're like, a lot of weapons, but they're still the Raiders. And then you look at the Broncos and it's like, well, like I think it's a really good quarterback and coach matchup, but it's still the fucking Broncos. Like it might have been a little bit of a Cinderella year last year. You never know. It's hard. It's a hard division to predict, quite frankly. Way harder than the NFC West. Because I actually think, I know this has gone on a little bit. I think we can actually fire through this pretty quickly. Just looking at it, we're pretty close on all but one team. So 49ers 10 wins.
I'm happy to go 9-8.
Yeah, I would go down one on them. The thing is, they had the year from hell last year. You can't have 2 in a row, right? They still have a ton of weapons.
McCaffrey could get hurt again.
He will. He will get hurt again, but he could not. So this is like a little bit of a tough one. It's why I want to give them double-digit wins, just because they do that. They do that. So
they got B-Rob to back them up now, though. Better than what they had in the past.
Still a pretty big drop-off, but it's not as big of a drop-off. I have to agree with that.
All right, 10-7. I'm okay with that.
I mean, I'd be okay with 9-2. It's just because I'm pretty low on the coach. I think you're pretty low on the coach. Are we all agreed that Shanahan's like kind of the worst one of that tree? Does anyone? I think we've all agreed on that.
We talked about before, like, once again, we give credit where it's due, but it's like, dude, you haven't won. Like, once again, I can't get on Tomlin for his success but not kill. You know what I'm saying? Like Shanahan ain't won. And once again, you've been into the dance many times, but you haven't got it done with him.
Because we're just talking about the regular season here. I feel like
they have delivered for the most part.
Yeah. I just think 11 wins could happen. I think 12 is a little bit out of reach. Just using your logic, Mike. I think 12 is a little bit out of reach. I think 10 can happen. I think 9 can happen. I think 11 can happen. I think those are my 3 strongest numbers for them. Like those would be the 3 numbers I'm highest on for their wins. So just using that logic, having a handshake on 10 if you're cool with it.
10-7.
10-7 for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm kind of high on the Cardinals and the Rams. It seems like you're a little lower than me. Willing to be swayed. I love McVay. I'm done doubting the Rams being able to win a bunch of games. What did they win last year?
I had them at 11-6.
Oh, I had them at 11-6. Oh, okay, cool. For some reason I thought you had them at 9. But I must have misread your message. That's on me. That's just my eyes that don't work so well. You can tell by the glasses.
Cardinals, I had at 8-9.
I had them at 9-8. So
what do you think is more likely? 10 wins or 8 wins?
Let me look at their schedule, because it's just Tyler is the thing. I know you guys don't, but there's a lot of weird kind of number cruncher red zone numbers with him that it's kind of really impossible to stop him scoring if he gets within the red zone. So sorry, what'd you say, Ray?
Trey McBride has been awesome for them over there, and they don't use him in the end. It's crazy. He's been. But
they score every time they go down there.
But I'm saying, I feel they would even score more.
I think he's the decoy a lot of the time.
Yeah, so
they had 3 touchdowns last year and 100 receptions, something like that.
Yeah,
right. So they got the Terminator. They got James Conner.
It's wild.
I'm kind of high on them, but I mean, I could see him winning 8 games. I could see him winning 9 games. I'm not sure if I could see him winning 10 games actually. So I think 7, 8, and 9 would probably be the 3 numbers that jump out at me. So I'm willing to go with yours and just go 8 and 9 on that one. That's fine.
And I had Seattle at 8 and 9.
I had them at 6 and 10.
So split it 7 and 10.
Yeah, are they worth talking about? I mean, we kind of know the whole thing. It's
you sub out Geno for Sam Darnold. You sub out DK Metcalf for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Does Cooper Kupp play? Does he play 12 plus games?
I think so.
I mean, even if he does, though, can you be what you've been in the past? Can you be that guy?
I think he kind of can. I mean, I guess having Puka was like, huge for his like sort of production because like he didn't have to be the only guy anymore, and he was the only one of the best only guys for like a long time in my opinion. But
turns out the majority of the time that he was there with Puka, he was hurt, so he didn't really get the added benefit of that. But I'll do 7 and 10.
I don't want him to become Carolina Adam Thielen. I just don't want that to happen up there. I think he's much better than Adam Thielen. But...
I think Sam Darnold is going to throw 135 passes at Cooper Kupp within the first 9 games, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you're going to have to, between him and JSN, you're going to have to, yeah.
It is weird. I feel like the Wests of both conferences have been a little difficult. Anything can happen with a lot of these teams, so it is kind of hard. But the problem is it might look a little shaky if we go too high on them is my only point, because they start out their season by playing the 49ers, the Steelers, the Saints, but then the Cardinals, the Buccaneers, the Jags, the Texans, the Commanders, who I think you gave the Commanders that win already. The Cardinals again, the Rams, who we already said are winning 11 games, so we'd probably find that. It's just okay, that's fine. You want to do 8? Is that what you said?
I'll do 7 and 10. But the funny part about the NFC West is that literally, usually at the top 3 teams are 3 and 3 in that division. They just play each other so fucking tough.
I see them winning 5 games, Mike. Honestly, I could see it.
No.
Like the thing is, I think they have 5 locks on their schedule, but I think it's the only 5 locks. It's the only 5 wins I can find at the same time. I think they'll beat the Colts. I think that they'll beat the Titans.
You think that they'll beat the Saints?
I think they'll beat the Saints. I think they'll take at least 1 game off the Cardinals just because it's divisional.
Right.
And I think that they'll beat. I think I can find 4 locks. I think that's 4. Panthers. I give them the Panthers. So it's 5 definite wins, and then the rest are up in the air. They really are. Yeah. So I feel like we're taking a gamble there. Like if we had 5 covered and 6 covered and 7 covered.
So 6 and 11. No.
So I guess we'll have to take that as a sign from God. Let's go 7.
All right, 7 and 10.
7 and 10. We'll go with your pick. We'll be a little bit more conservative on that one. The Micah
Marcangelo. NFC West we have the Rams at 11 and 6, the Niners at 10 and 7, the Cardinals at 8 and 9, and the Seahawks at 7 and 10.
Okay, I think we should just rattle through our offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, MVP, and head coach. Oh, and first coach fired. We did that too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. AFC, you guys prepared? You wanna just rattle those off and talk about it, be in agreement? I'm happy to give you space and time if there's a big debate, but
no, we're in agreement. So go ahead, Bobby.
All right, so MVP.
Just because they're the winners, Mike, I think they should get first choice on these, right? Makes
100%.
sense.
Yep.
Did we get first choice on all of them?
I think it's fair enough.
Okay.
That's really fair.
So MVP Lamar. I think he brings the title home this year. We had him as the most wins in the AFC. Technically, if we go by all the wins that we had, it's the most wins in the league because I think tied with the Eagles at least. So I think Lamar wins MVP. Offensive player of the year. I didn't write this down at first, but I'm going to go Saquon. I think he repeats what he did last year. If we're going to have the Eagles as good as we think they're going to be, Saquon's going to be a huge part of that, and he had 2,000 last year. Are you in any disagreement with that, Ray?
No, I mean, like I said, he obviously, I always use this argument when great players go to another team and they've had injury-ridden moments in other places. Like, I feel like you always get healthy when you're on a great team. It's just somehow, some way, you get healthy and all of a sudden you become, you go into Super Saiyan mode. So I'm fully on board with him. Now, once again, he may not get 2,000, but his impact may look different in different areas. He definitely needs to get better as a pass catcher, though, because I think sometimes messed him up in New York at times. But yeah, he can have another great season that mirrors what he did last year.
All right, so Saquon, defensive player of the year. Originally, I wrote down Micah, but it was just too fucking heartbreaking to have on a piece of paper, so I couldn't do it. Put TJ Watt just because he was the next guy that came to mind. And then coach of the year. I have
what about rookie of the year?
I didn't write down rookie of the year. Ray, you got rookie of the year?
Be a homer.
Stop.
Gonna go with Trey Henderson, baby. Let's go. If you don't think he's going to be playing, Mike, I don't know what to tell you. That kid looks special already, but okay. So Trey Henderson, offensive rookie of the year. Let's go. Let's get it.
All right.
Just rookie of the year, right? Because we don't do defensive rookie of the year, right, TK?
Yeah.
No, we just do rookie of the year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Coach of the year. I'm going back to the Ravens. I'm going Harbaugh. I know that we've been down on him in past years, but they're going to win the most games in the league this year. I think that they look unbelievable in the regular season, at least. So I'm going to go Harbaugh, coach of the year. First coach fired. I wrote down Stefanski because I just think the Browns going to be terrible. However, if we're going to go with the Dolphins at 6-11, I think McDaniels is a very good option here. Because if we're going to parlay those two, I just think if they're going 6-11, McDaniels could be one of the first coaches fired. So I just want to pitch that to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that makes sense. I mean, I think that they haven't had too much patience with coaches in Miami. So whether in the last 10 years, I think about you had Joe Philbin, you had Dan Campbell, who was the interim coach for a while. You had Brian Flores. So they've gone through a lot of coaches down there. So yeah, I think that's feasible that they don't produce the way that they are expecting down there. Yeah, but to me, Stefanski seems like a pretty safe pick if they are going to be that bad.
So
all right, Mike, you want to read them out? I thought you went with it. I thought you went to Stefanski. No, is that not?
Yeah. Stefanski from Cleveland. Yep.
Two-time coach of the year. You're gonna have be fired first. Kevin Stefanski.
I mean, going 1-16, that would get you fired. No, I don't know. Somebody that you would keep.
Just to be clear, you have the Browns at not going 1-16.
3-14.
Yeah, but that is a different context.
Either way.
All right, you want to read those out, Mike?
All right, so MVP Lamar Jackson, Offensive Player of the Year Saquon Barkley, Defensive Player of the Year TJ Watt, Rookie of the Year Trey Henderson, Coach of the Year John Harbaugh, First Coach fired Kevin Stefanski.
Okay, I feel like they handed us a bunch of really easy ones that I'm really glad I let him go first. The only one I would have obviously loved Saquon for Offensive Player of the Year. But just for the easy ones, do you want to just take Allen for MVP? I mean, like whoever took Jackson's going to take Allen.
I want to do Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
fuck that. Yeah, let's do that. That's so sick. I love that. That's so sexual. I love that. That's absolutely sexy. That's such a good fucking pick. Do it. Lock it in. I can't argue with that even a little bit.
Only because
I wanted Jamar Chase as Offensive Player of the Year.
Me too.
That was my next choice. Okay, great. Let's fucking do it. Me and Mike are riding with the Bengals this year. Let's go.
Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons.
Let's take Micah easy. Super easy.
Oh my god,
couldn't do it. So
I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't.
Yeah, and I'm trying to win over here.
Rookie of the Year, Ashton Genty.
I'd just take Genty since they didn't. Why not? Let's just play the odds on that one. Why not? I could be talked into Golden Tate. I could be talked into Tet. I could be talked into
Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden. I'm glad we have another Golden in the league. Matthew Golden, Tet, Travis Hunter. I could be really talked into, actually, thinking about it. I'm pretty surprised they didn't take that.
It's the Titans. I don't think right. Throwing to nobody.
But he's a QB, though.
I'm with you.
It's fucking crazy they took Trey Henderson. I mean, I think he's going to be really good, but that's a wild pick.
We're fine with that.
Yeah, let's just take Genty. Let's just cover ourselves. I'm cool with it. I just wanted to explore other options, but that's fine.
Should we really go? Should we cover both of our bases here? Both are assuming that the Bengals are going to have a good year and start fast. But what if they start 1-5? Did we put Zach
First
Taylor?
Coach fired? Yeah, he could just hedge.
Hedge that's a great hedge. That's a great hedge.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
Can I pitch you Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
No. Wow.
What do you think?
Right.
Is it crazy? He's
Yes.
the second. He's the second most likely odds. Second most likely odds in Vegas after Ben Johnson.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to put that juju on Ben Johnson at all.
Where's Harbaugh on the list?
Plus 1,700. He's like 9th or 10th.
Coach
It's not bad. That's not a
year.
terrible pick in my opinion. What about Matt LaFleur?
It's not, but picking Vrabel this early doesn't feed it. Won't feed into our narrative about. I mean, so.
Well, no, but I'm just thinking in the context of the game that we just played that we believe, you and I both criticized the leap that they have the Patriots taking, going potentially 9-8. And they wouldn't give Vrabel Coach of the Year if he did what we both think he's going to do, going like 8-9 or 7-10.
Didn't he win one?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, they went 12-5. I think 20.
He's like such a darling. is the thing. So like, and the expectations aren't like that high, right? Like,
but he would have to win 10 games in order to get Coach of the Year.
That was my next question. Do you think he could win it with like 8 or 9 wins? Probably not.
No.
Okay. I don't want to put Ben Johnson in that mix. Like, I really can't. It's just like that would just be too much for me because I just can't. Liam Cohen. If we want to hedge,
you need a hug, bud.
Kinda. Sean Payton. It's a shout.
I think it's gonna be Todd Bowles.
What about Jim? What about Jim Harbaugh?
No, he'd have to do so
much. Fuck the Harbaughs.
Oh wow. Okay.
Listen, I don't like Mike.
Aaron Glenn shout
for winning 5 games.
I mean, hey, that might be a victory.
Listen, I would argue. Baby. So hear me out here, DK. If the Lions do what we had picked them to do and win 9 games, is that enough to get Campbell Coach of the Year after losing both coordinators?
No. They're not going to play that context on his behalf. No way. No way.
I think if they won 11 or 12 with him like that, he'd be a lock.
11, yeah. But if they win 7, he's closer to first coach fired. You know what I mean? Like, right. I mean, I don't think they'll fire him.
He ain't getting fired.
That'd be insane. I don't
think they'd ever fire him, but I just think I'm just pointing out that they're in a little bit of a gray area over there that I don't really want to get involved with. Like, it's a hard thing to predict.
I mean, they also fired Jim Calhoun. Not Jim Calhoun.
Calhoun.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking now I'm all over the place.
Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell, yes. Jeez.
I think Matt LaFleur is like a really good shout.
Yeah, I literally just saying I will take Matt LaFleur and write him down.
Okay, let's do it.
Perfect. All right, so
just get the Coach of the Year prediction as far away from Ben Johnson on this show as possible. That's all I want. Like whatever the opposite of that is, which I think
you just
you just put 2 Packers.
Yeah.
You just put 2 Packers in your award predictions. How does that feel?
Well, okay, so we have MVP Joe Burrow.
Apparently, I suck at this, so let's go.
Offensive Player of the Year, Jamar Chase. Defensive Player of the Year, Micah Parsons. Rookie of the Year, Ashton Jeanty. Coach of the Year, Matt LaFleur. And first coach fired, Zach Taylor.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm happy with that. You happy with that?
Happy with that.
We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. The
Spring fucking concert. Jesus.
I had a great time. I don't know about
Me
you.
Too.
I know the listeners and viewers on YouTube had a great time. That has been your Missing the Point 2025-2026 prediction show. We are 1 week away as of recording of watching a regular season professional NFL football game. I'm excited about it. Bob Kelly's excited about it. Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan is excited about it. And I know Mike Marcangelo is excited about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been and will always be Missing the Point.